Okay, today I'm going to show you how to use the Silhouette Studio and trace an image and then deconstruct it and color the different layers. So on Google, I usually type in an image and I type in, for example, Santa coloring page because it's just a black and white image and the lines are really easy to trace. Once you drag your image into the program, go over to the trace panel. Click on that, and then we're going to click on Select Trace Area, and you're going to trace your image or drag your box around the image. Next, you want to go to Threshold and the Despeckle. I kind of just play around with it and move it up and down. If you go to the extreme, I mean, you can really see the difference between the different levels. But a good rule of thumb is to trace until all of the black parts are yellow. If you don't have a very good quality image, it's a little harder to trace. Once you're happy with it, go ahead and click on Trace. And then we can pull our little Santa over to the side. And here is our traced image. Now, if you wanted to cut this out in vinyl or whatever, it's good to go. You can go up and just send it to your Silhouette and have it cut. But in this case, I'm going to show you how to color it if you wanted to use like clip art for your classroom or make a Christmas card or whatever. So we're going to just click on our image. And then if you go up to the object option, and then go to Release Compound Path. So what that does is it separates every single little line in the image. From here, we can go through and highlight all of these little extra things here that we might not want in our image. Okay, then click on the outermost layer and move that off to the side. Now this is going to become our black outline later. Okay, so from here, we're going to select whatever pieces we want to color. So I like to hold down Shift and just click on multiple ones at the same time that I know are going to be the same color. This is going to save us a little bit of time. Go over here to our color palette, choose your color. We'll give them some black gloves and boots. Okay. These little highlights here, I'll make that white. Black. Oops. Sometimes it's a little hard to click just on the section that you're trying to color. But it's really just kind of like a big coloring book, and you can make them whatever color you decide. There we go. Okay. If you want something to remain white, you do need to fill it in with the color white, otherwise it'll stay transparent, and when we drag our black background over it, it'll change it to black. So keep that in mind. You can zoom in a little bit if we need to pick out a really fine detail, like his eyes are pretty small. So do gray. Change his eye color here and do black. There we go. Okay, I have just a few more things here to color. All right, and then you can kind of just give it a quick look. If you don't see any of the grid lines going through any of your spots, then you know you filled it in with a color. Oh, I see one more spot here. I'm going to make that highlight white. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the silhouette that's going to be sliding behind our Santa Claus, and I'm going to color that black. And then actually I think I'm going to change his gloves and boots to a gray so that there's a little more contrast between the outline and my figure. There we go. That's better. Same with his belt. Again, you can just hold down the shift key while you're clicking on multiple layers, and you can select them all at one time. So now what we do, we just move this back into place behind our Santa Claus, and you can kind of move it and scooch it around until it looks pretty even. Now, you can see it still has like a little red around all of our shapes here. So what I do is I select everything, just drag your mouse up from the corner and then come down, and it'll drag your cursor over everything to select it all at once. Go to your line style menu, go to line color, and then I hit this little grid and it takes that outline away. So if you were to print it, I don't believe it would print with the red outline, but I like to just make my lines clear when I'm doing like invitations or anything like that, because then you can really see what it looks like. So when you're done now, if you want to kind of resize this guy, you can just select it all and then resize it. But what I like to do to be safe, to make sure I'm not scooching any layers out of place, go up to Object and then you can either go to Make Compound Path, which will connect everything again, but you'll lose your color. Otherwise, I just go to Group, and then now it's all one object instead of a bunch of different objects. So like if I were to do this and I forgot that I didn't, regroup it, then you would end up changing just that one thing there. So again, just select it all and then group, and then we're good to move him around, and then you can save this as a PDF print file or put it on your Christmas card or whatever you wanted to do.